video I am going to represent about the new chapter of class 12 biology, human health and diseases. This is a chapter 8 of biology portion. Now this is a very long chapter. I am going to subdivide into 4 small parts. Today's part it will be the types of infectious diseases. So watch it. Hi children, hello. Hope you all are well and doing fine. Now in this lockdown situation, I have come up with a new topic, human health and disease. This is a chapter 8, class 12 biology portion. Now this chapter is a bit lengthy chapter, so I have divided the topics into various subtopics, and further I will be discussing these topics in various videos. So the first video I am going to make today is about health, disease, type of pathogen and type of disease. This is the first video. Second video is about immunity and its types, antibody structure. In the third video I will be describing about HIV, AIDS and cancer, and the fourth and the last part of the chapter is drug and alcohol abuse. So today I am with the first part, that is the health, disease, types of pathogen and types of diseases. Now have a glance on the topics. Now let me first introduce with the definitions of this chapter. The major definitions are what do you mean by health, and the next definition is what do you mean by disease. Now these two terms are contrary to each other, they contradict each other. Now what do you mean by health? Now according to WHO, that is World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being of a person. I hope you understood the definition. It means when a person is physically, mentally and socially sound, or is doing well with his physical health, mental health and social health, then only we can say that the person is healthy. Okay, not only physical health is important, but also the mental health and social health plays an important role in the health of a person. Next, let me discuss about disease. Now it is a condition where the normal functioning of our body is malfunction or dysfunction or does not work properly due to the disorders caused in our body and mind. So it is a pathological condition of our body where our body organs do not work properly and it disbalances our setup of the body. Okay, now let's go to the next part of the topic, that is the diseases. Now diseases can be divided into various types. The major two types are congenital and acquired diseases. Now congenital means right from the birth you may be suffering from a disease like for example genetic disorders like Down syndrome, sickle cell anemia. These are congenital diseases. This do not pass from one person to another person by any type of means. It is only through genetical disorders may pass only from in the families. Okay. Next come the acquired disease. Acquired diseases are again divided into two types. Acquired disease can be acquired from the environment. Okay, development of the infection can cause acquired disease. So acquired diseases are again classified into two types. One is the communicable, another is the non-communicable diseases. Now what do you mean by communicable diseases? Communicable diseases are also known as infectious diseases. Non-communicable diseases are known as non-infectious diseases. Now let me describe first about the non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases include deficiency diseases, degenerative diseases, allergic diseases and cancer. First is deficiency diseases. Deficiency diseases are caused due to deficiency of any of the nutrient present in our food. That is, it may be a vitamin deficiency, maybe a mineral deficiency, or maybe a carbohydrate or protein deficiency disease. Next come degenerative diseases. Degenerative diseases may be due to some like heart disease may be a degenerative disease. Okay, degeneration of the body tissues. Asthma, it is a allergic disease. Okay, the allergic disease, asthma. Next come the cancer. It is also a non-communicable disease. Now next come the communicable diseases. Communicable diseases generally they communicate, that is they pass from a person to another healthy person, from an infectious person to a healthy person by some pathogens. So what are pathogens? Pathogens are the disease causing organisms. Now pathogenic diseases or communicable diseases are generally divided into 5 types: bacterial disease, viral disease, protozoan disease, helminthic disease and fungal disease. Now bacterial disease include typhoid, pneumonia. Here I will be explaining about the two topic, typhoid and pneumonia. Then come viral disease. Polio is a viral disease and very common now. Everybody is aware about COVID-19 is a corona virus which is causing this disease, that is a viral disease. Pathogenic disease, malaria, helminthic disease like ascariasis and fungal disease. Now here I want to say something, that is, what do you mean by the lifestyle diseases? Now see, sometime some person, they may have a wrong lifestyle or the food habit may be not good. So the diseases that are acquired or associated with the way a person or a group of people they live, this is called lifestyle disease. For example, like arthritis, obesity, these are some type of lifestyle diseases. Okay, now next come, you see here, how do we maintain good health? Now for taking good care of our body, we need proper health. So health is wealth, you know all. So how can we keep our health good, in a good state? First is balanced diet. You need to take a balanced diet. You know very well what is a balanced diet. Proper personal hygiene, regular exercise, yoga. So it will give you mental peace, physical health. And then the third point, vaccination. Vaccination from time to time against various infectious diseases. Fourth point is awareness, right? You should be aware about the disease and their effects on the body and their functions. Now you can see how the government of various countries are making the people aware about the COVID-19. So we should spread awareness about the disease and its severity. Otherwise, if people do not become alert and aware, then the disease will spread like anything that is spreading around the world. Clear? Next come the last point is the proper disposal of the garbage. Yes, if you do not dispose the garbage, daily garbage that you are creating in your home every day, so it will bring about the various type of vectors in the society, and proper hygiene, food and water resource should be also maintained. So these are the ways how we can maintain our good health. Next the next topic is the infectious agents. Now just now I told you about the various type of the communicable diseases. Next is the infectious agents. Infectious agents are the causative agent of a communicable disease. So the infectious agents is a pathogen. A pathogen may be a microscopic organism, it may be a bacteria, it may be a virus, a fungus, a protozoan, or a multicellular helminthic worm may also be a pathogen. So here first of all I will describe about the two bacterial diseases, that is one typhoid, another is pneumonia. Right? Now try to hear my words, what I am saying about the typhoid. Now typhoid is a bacterial disease. The agent or the causal agent is Salmonella typhi. Okay, I have made a mistake here. You can see what I have not done here. I have not underlined the species name, isn't it? The last name should be underlined. So you see Salmonella is underlined but typhi is not underlined. So let me underline it. So you very well know how to underline when you are writing with the hand a scientific name. Next come organ affected. Yes, the organ affected is small intestine of human being. Symptoms. Symptoms are high fever near about 39 degree centigrade to 40 degree centigrade. Don't get confused with Fahrenheit and centigrade. Here I have written the temperature in Celsius scale. Next come weakness. There will be much weakness in the body. There will be stomach pain as it is affecting our gut. So there will be stomach pain, there will be headache, loss of appetite, you will not feel to eat. And last is constipation. So these are the various type of symptoms of typhoid. Next come the confirmation test. How will a doctor confirm that a person is having this typhoid? The test is called Widal test, right? So these are the various type of terminologies you have to get associated with. Now there is a very interesting story in here regarding the typhoid. Now there was a cook, English cook, her name was Mary Millon. Mary Millon was a cook by profession and she was a typhoid carrier. Okay, and she continued to cook in various places and she used to spread this disease for several years. And after that it was discovered that yes, right, she was a typhoid carrier. So this is a very interesting story regarding typhoid. The next topic I am going to describe about the pneumonia. So children, here is the next bacterial disease, pneumonia. So the causal agent is Streptococcus pneumoniae or Haemophilus influenzae. So the organ which is affected by this bacteria is lungs. Now, symptoms of pneumonia are fever, there will be chills, cough, headache, and in severe cases, there will be graying of our fingernails and lips. So, in severe cases, when pneumonia become very severe, and it may be lethal at that time if not taken care. Next, I am going to discuss about the 3 viral diseases mentioned in your book. First is common cold, second is dengue fever, and third is chikungunya. Now you see here there are a lot of viral diseases around us. We can see every time, but here in your textbook it is only the 3 viral diseases mentioned. So 2 are transmitted by the mosquitoes. Okay, that is the Aedes aegypti mosquito, and common cold is a viral disease which is caused commonly by the rhinovirus group. Rhino group of virus are a group of virus that cause the common cold. Now, organ affected is actually our nasal passage. Remember, it is the disease which does not cause infection in our lungs, but it causes the disease in our nasal passage or nasal cavity. Next, the symptoms of this disease. There will be sore throat, congestion in our nose, discharge of mucus, okay, fluid mucus from our nose. There will be hoarseness in our voice, cough will be there, and headache and tiredness. So these are the symptoms of the common cold, which is a very common disease, and we often get sick of these diseases, isn't it? So this 3 to 7 days the symptoms will last, and then slowly you will be recovering. So this can be transmitted through droplet infection from the droplet of a person, okay, who is infected, or maybe contaminated through various objects like pen, books, cups, doorknobs, computer keyboards, etc., etc. So whatever you can see now, that how COVID-19 is spreading around by various type of agents. So this can be the cause. Next viral disease is the dengue fever. Now dengue fever, it is caused by flavivirus. Flavivirus is a group of virus that cause dengue fever. Now the mode of transmission is here the disease is spread through a carrier. Now the carrier is Aedes aegypti female mosquito. Okay, so when this mosquito get infected with the flavivirus or the dengue virus and it bites a healthy person, then this disease is spread. So the symptoms are high fever will be there. There will be severe headache, pain behind your eyes, rash may appear all around your skin, and muscles and joint pain will be prevalent. So this is about dengue fever. Okay. Now next is the chikungunya. Chikungunya is also caused by the chikungunya virus. The mode of transmission is through Aedes aegypti again. The mosquito, female Aedes aegypti, bites infected with this virus, may bite a person and may cause him sick or cause her sick. The symptoms are fever which can rise up to 104 degree Fahrenheit, severe joint pain, headache, nausea, fatigue, and rash around the body. So these are the common symptoms. Some of the common symptoms you can see in both the dengue and the chikungunya. So these are the 3 type of viral diseases that I was talking about. Next we will discuss about the protozoan disease. Okay, protozoa. Now very important and common protozoan disease is malaria. So the protozoan disease, malaria. Okay, let me describe about malaria. It is a protozoan disease. Okay, so it is malaria. Now can you tell me what is the protozoan that causes malaria? Yes, Plasmodium. Plasmodium vivax or Plasmodium malariae or Plasmodium falciparum. These are the 3 viruses that may cause malaria. There are the various type of malaria caused by the various type of protozoan. Plasmodium is the main causal organism. The variety of Plasmodium here I will describe each type. Now generally you see you have 2 type of protozoan disease in your syllabus, that is one malaria, another is amyloidosis. Now malaria, the main causal agent is Plasmodium. Plasmodium can be of 3 types: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae. These three types you know. There is another type called Plasmodium ovale. So you see these 4 type of Plasmodium, they cause various type of malaria. Now the Plasmodium vivax, they cause benign tertian malaria. It's a type of malaria. Plasmodium falciparum, this protozoan, it causes malignant malaria, which is very dangerous, lethal. Maybe it is lethal, and it is also called brain fever. Plasmodium malariae, it is the main malarial plasmodium that we will talk about. So it is called quarter malaria, and Plasmodium ovale, it is called mid-tertian malaria. So these are the 4 type of Plasmodium and the type of malaria. Now here you see in your textbook also, you can see the life cycle of Plasmodium. How is the Plasmodium causing the malaria in the human being? Now you see Plasmodium actually it select 2 host body. Okay, the first host body is the mosquito, that is the female Anopheles mosquito, and the second host body is the human. Okay, now I have tried to describe the transmission of the malaria from Plasmodium via the carrier Anopheles mosquito female to the human body with the help of a diagram. Now this is a very common diagram which is given in your book. You can have a look in this diagram. You see the mosquito, it is a mosquito which is infected by the Plasmodium. So this infected mosquito sitting on the, okay, now let me start with this figure a little better, because you will be getting this, okay, 2 life cycle. You can see here I have mentioned about the host human, and where the asexual reproduction of the malarial parasite takes place, and the mosquito body, where the mosquito host, where the sexual reproduction of the parasite or the Plasmodium takes place. Okay, so let me discuss about the life cycle of the malarial parasite. Now see, the Plasmodium, it enters the human body as sporozoids. Okay, so what is a sporozoid? Sporozoid is the structure, it is the part of a life cycle of the malarial parasite, that is the Plasmodium. So it enters the human body through the bite of the infected Anopheles female mosquito. So here you see I have drawn a hand of a human being which is being bitten by a mosquito. So let me draw the mosquito here. So suppose this is a mosquito which is biting the, okay, which is biting the human body, human hand here. So suppose this is the mosquito is flying and coming and biting here. So it is the mosquito which is flying and coming and biting the human. Okay, here. Now this mosquito is already infected with the malaria. Now what happened? This mosquito actually, this sporozoid reaches the liver. Now here you see, this mosquito bites and forms sporozoid. The sporozoid actually, when the mosquito bites the human being, the sporozoid enters our liver cells. Okay, so in our liver the sporozoid enters. So well children, here I am with the new topic, that is protozoan disease. You will be studying about the 2 type of protozoan disease in your syllabus, that is one malaria and that is amoebiasis. Now malaria is caused generally by Plasmodium. It is a parasite, it is a protozoan, okay, protozoan disease. Now protozoa Plasmodium is of 4 types generally. First is Plasmodium vivax, second Plasmodium falciparum, third the Plasmodium malariae, the fourth is Plasmodium ovale. Now let's have a look about the various type of malaria caused by these 4 type of Plasmodium. Now Plasmodium vivax or vivax, it causes benign tertian malaria. Plasmodium falciparum, which causes a very dangerous disease called malignant malaria, is very lethal. Plasmodium malariae is called quartan malaria, and Plasmodium ovale, it causes mid-tertian malaria. So these are the 4 type of Plasmodium that causes various type of malaria. Now malaria, you see malaria is caused by Plasmodium, which require actually two hosts. One host is the mosquito, another host is the human being. Okay, now you can understand this life cycle of the Plasmodium with the help of a schematic diagram which is already provided in your textbook. Now here I have tried to draw the life cycle of the Plasmodium. You see, the Plasmodium, it generally enters the human body as sporozoid form. These are sporozoid. Sporozoid is a, you see, it is the sexual mature, okay, infected stage of the malarial parasite, which enter the body of the human through the bite of the female Anopheles mosquito. So the female Anopheles mosquito actually develops this sporozoid in their body, in their intestine, from where it is migrated to the salivary gland of the mosquito. And when the mosquito bites the human body, from the salivary gland of the mosquito, these infected sporozoid, these sporozoids enter our bloodstream. So the sporozoid reach the liver through our bloodstream, okay, and multiply there asexually. So asexual reproduction of the sporozoid take place in our liver cells, okay. Now it attack the RBC in the liver and multiply again and result in the rupture of the RBC in the immature form. During the rupture of this RBC, you know, there is chills, okay. Now you know that malaria causes chills and fever. Now here you see why the chills appear, because when the RBC is busted, toxin is released which is known as hemozyl. So which is responsible for the high fever which reoccur every 3 to 4 days, and chill also or shivering also takes place. Clear? Now these gametocytes, that is the sexual stage or the development in the RBC of the human host. Okay. Next come the gametocytes of the parasite enter the mosquito body along with the blood when female Anopheles mosquito bite the infected person. Now the further development occurs in the stomach wall of the mosquito. Okay, so in the mosquito's body, in the stomach wall, the further development take place and the gametes fuse. You can see here I have drawn the two gametes, female and male gamete, which is formed in a human body and then it is transmitted. Now these gametes, they reach the stomach wall of the mosquito and they fuse to form the zygote. The zygote undergo the further development in the body of the mosquito. Now in the body of the mosquito, these zygote undergo development and form sporozoids. Sporozoid is one of the life cycle, is a part of the life cycle of the, okay, the plasmodium. So the female mosquito takes up the gametocyte with the blood meal. So when with this female mosquito biting the human, the unhealthy human, it is taking up the sporozoid, clear? And this sporozoid taken by the mosquito, this sporozoid is then transported to the salivary gland and then transported to the another human body through the saliva of the mosquito. So see, this is the mechanism of transmission of the plasmodium from the malaria. So I hope you understood the process or the transfer of the sporozoid in the human body and the life cycle of the malarial parasite plasmodium. Now you see what are the symptoms of the malaria. You will have like influenza-like symptoms. There will be chills, headache, nausea, vomiting and muscle aches. Okay, there is one just a small note about the malaria, that is Sir Ronald Ross. He was one of the Indian medical service he was working in, where he established that malarial parasite is transmitted by the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. Now he stated it on 29th of August 1897. So you can just have an information about it. Now the malarial parasite require two hosts. You have just now saw primary host, that is the what is the primary host? Female Anopheles mosquito. And the second host is the human body or the human being. So this is also called the intermediate host or secondary host. Clear? Now we will discuss about the amoeboiosis, that is the second type of protozoan disease. Now amoeboic dysentery is also the name of amoeboiosis. Now the agent is Entamoeba histolytica. Okay. Now you see this is found in the large number in the large intestine. Okay, so Entamoeba is found in large intestine. The transmitting agent of this pathogen is generally housefly. Now it transmits the parasite from the fecal matter of the infected person to a healthy person through food, by contaminated food. Okay. Now what are the symptoms? Symptoms are constipation, abnormal pain, cramp, and also stool with excess mucus and blood clots. Now lot of drinking of water and eating food of contaminated food and water with fecal matter are also the source. Means when the contamination is in water and food material, so it can actually transmit. Now next topic is helminthic disease. So I will be talking about helminthic disease. Now the first helminthic disease is ascariasis. And ascariasis, that is caused by a helminth called Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay. Now it is an intestinal parasite commonly known as roundworm. Now Ascaris, it is transmitted through contaminated water, vegetables, fruits, and even exposure of soil, water, plant with contaminated water. Now the symptoms are generally internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, and blockage of the intestinal passage. So these are the symptoms of helminthic disease, ascariasis. And the last type of disease, that is the filariasis. Filariasis is also a helminthic disease. So filariasis is the causative agent is the filarial worm, that is called Eucheria branchopti and Eucheria malayi. So these are the two type of filarial worms. Now the transmitting agent or the vector of this disease is the Culex mosquito. Clear? Now the symptoms are chronic inflammation, generally in the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs and even in the genital organs, where the worms may live for many years or infect the person. Clear? Next type of communicable disease is the fungal disease, that is the ringworm, which is very common in human. Now the causative agent is of the genera, that is Mycosporum. Mycosporum is the genus of the fungus, or Trichophyton, Epidermophyton. These are the various genus of the fungus. Now the symptom are dry, scaly lesions all over the body parts, in the skin, nail, scalp. There will be itching. So generally it is when the person is in direct contact with the contaminated articles like comb, towel, or the infected person, he may have this disease. So heat and moisture, it helps the growth of this fungus in the skin, and in the finger and toes. So these were about the various type of communicable diseases caused in the human being. In the next day we will be talking about the non-infectious disease. So I hope you understood the process of the transfer of the sporozoid in the human body and the life cycle of the malarial parasite Plasmodium. Now you see what are the symptoms of the malaria. You will have like influenza-like symptoms. There will be chills, headache, nausea, vomiting, and muscle aches. There is one just a small note about the malaria. That is Sir Ronald Ross. He was one of the Indian medical service he was working in, where he established that malarial parasite is transmitted by the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. Now he stated it on 29th of August 1897. So you can just have an information about it. Now the malarial parasite require two hosts. You have just now saw primary host, that is the what is the primary host? Female Anopheles mosquito. And the second host is the human body or the human being. So this is also called the intermediate host or secondary host. Clear? Now we will discuss about the amoeboiosis, that is the second type of protozoal disease. Now amoeboic dysentery is also the name of amoeboiosis. Now the agent is Entamoeba histolytica. Now you see this is found in the large number in the small large intestine. So Entamoeba is found in large intestine. The transmitting agent of this pathogen is generally housefly. Now it transmits the parasite from the fecal matter of the infected person to a healthy person through food, by contaminated food. Now what are the symptoms? Symptoms are constipation, abnormal pain, cramp, and also stool with excess mucus and blood clots. Now lot of drinking of water and eating food of with contaminated food and water with fecal matter are also the source. Means when the contamination is in water and food material, so it can actually transmit. Now next topic is helminthic disease. So I will be talking about helminthic disease. Now the first helminthic disease is ascariasis, and ascariasis, that is caused by a helminth called Ascaris lumbricoides. Now it is an intestinal parasite commonly known as roundworm. Now Ascaris, it is transmitted through contaminated water, vegetables, fruits, and even exposure of soil, water, plant with contaminated water. Now the symptoms are generally internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia and blockage of the intestinal passage. So these are the symptoms of Helmintic disease, ascariasis. And the last type of disease, that is the filariasis. Filariasis is also a Helmintic disease. So filariasis is the causative agent is the filarial worm, that is called Eucheria branchopti and Eucheria malayi. So these are the two type of filarial worms. Now the transmitting agent or the vector of this disease is the Culex mosquito. Clear? Now the symptoms are chronic inflammation, okay, generally in the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs and even in the genital organs, where the worms may live for many years or infect the person. Clear? Next type of communicable disease is the fungal disease, that is the ringworm, which is very common in human. Now the causative agent is of the genera, that is Mycosporum. Mycosporum is the genus of the fungus, or Trichophyton, Epidermophyton. These are the various genus of the fungus. Now the symptom are dry, scaly lesions all over the body parts, in the skin, nails, scalp. There will be itching. So generally it is when the person is in direct contact with the contaminated articles like comb, towel or the infected person, he may have this disease. So heat and moisture, it helps the growth of this fungus in the skin, okay, and in the finger and toes. So these were about the various type of communicable diseases caused in the human being. In the next day we will be talking about the non-infectious diseases. And hope you understood the video about the infectious diseases. In the next video I will be teaching you about the various type of non-infectious diseases including cancer and AIDS, and thereafter further I will discuss about the drug abuse and alcohol abuse and the various type of immunity and the antibody structure. So keep watching my video if you want to know further about the further topics of this chapter. So thank you.